I find myself in a situation that I never thought I would be in. I think I'm falling in love with my best friend, who happens to be a guy. It's a complicated and confusing situation, one that I've been grappling with for a while now. I don't know what to do or how to handle these feelings that seem to grow stronger every day. Our story began 7 years ago when we started working together at a local coffee shop. We were both in our early 20s, fresh out of college and trying to figure out our place in the world. From the moment we met, there was an undeniable chemistry between us. We would flirt and tease each other constantly, finding any excuse to touch or be near each other. It wasn't long before our flirtatious behavior turned into something more. We started hanging out outside of work, going on adventures and exploring the city together. One thing led to another and we ended up hooking up a few times. It was exciting and passionate, but it never went beyond that. At the time, I had strong feelings for him. I wanted more than just a physical connection. I wanted a relationship, a future together. But life had other plans for us. We both got busy with our own lives, pursuing our dreams and goals. He moved away for a new job and I went back to school to get my master's degree. We lost touch, only communicating through the occasional text or social media post. Fast forward to a year ago, we reconnected and started hanging out again. It was like no time had passed at all. We fell back into our old patterns, flirting and teasing each other like we used to. One night, after a few drinks, we ended up hooking up again. It was just as amazing as I remembered, but it also left me feeling confused and unsure about what it meant. A few months later, he started dating someone else. I was happy for him, but I also felt a twinge of jealousy. I tried to push those feelings aside and focus on our friendship. We didn't talk much during that time, but I always kept tabs on him through social media. Now they've broken up and we've started hanging out again. It's been different this time around. We've been spending a lot of time together, but it's been purely platonic. We'll stay in and play video games, watch movies, or just talk for hours. It's been nice, but I can't help but feel like there's something more between us. There have been moments where I've caught him looking at me in a certain way, or where he'll casually touch my leg when we're sitting close together. The small things like that make me wonder if he feels the same way I do. But I'm too scared to say anything. I don't want to ruin our friendship or make things awkward between us. We have so many plans together for the rest of the year. We've talked about going on a road trip, attending music festivals, and even taking a vacation together. I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize those plans or make him not want to go through with them. I value our friendship too much to risk losing it. But at the same time, I can't ignore these feelings that I have for him. Every day, I find myself thinking about him more and more. I catch myself daydreaming about what it would be like to be with him, to hold his hand, to kiss him, to call him mine. It's a constant battle between my heart and my head. I've tried to distract myself with other things, like work or hobbies, but it's not enough. He's always on my mind, no matter what I'm doing. I've even tried dating other people, but it never feels right. They're not him. I know that I need to do something about these feelings, but I don't know what. I could continue to keep them to myself, hoping that they'll go away on their own. But I know that's not realistic. Feelings like this don't just disappear overnight. I could also take a risk and tell him how I feel. But what if he doesn't feel the same way? What if it makes things weird between us and ruins our friendship? I don't think I could handle that. He's too important to me to lose. But then again, what if he does feel the same way? What if he's been waiting for me to make a move, just like I've been waiting for him? What if we could have something really special together? Something that goes beyond just friendship. It's a scary thought, but it's also an exciting one. I can't help but imagine what it would be like to be with him, to build a life together. We already have such a strong foundation of friendship and trust. Wouldn't that make for an amazing relationship? But I know that I can't make that decision for him. I can't force him to have feelings for me or to want to be with me. All I can do is be honest about my own feelings and hope for the best. Maybe I could start by dropping some hints, being a little more flirtatious, and seeing how he responds. If he seems receptive, maybe I could work up the courage to have a real conversation with him about it. But if he doesn't seem interested, I'll know to back off and respect his feelings. It's a delicate balance, trying to navigate the line between friendship and something more. I don't want to overstep any boundaries or make him uncomfortable. But I also don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering, what if? I know that I need to be careful and take things slow. I don't want to rush into anything or make any rash decisions. But I also know that I can't keep ignoring these feelings forever. They're too strong, too real to just push aside. So, for now, I'll continue to be his friend, to support him and be there for him in whatever way he needs. But I'll also keep my heart open to the possibility of something more. I'll keep hoping that maybe, just maybe, he feels the same way I do. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. I'll be grateful for the friendship that we have and cherish all the memories that we've made together. I'll move on and find happiness elsewhere, knowing that I gave it my all and stayed true to myself. But until then, I'll keep spending time with him, laughing at his jokes, and enjoying his company. I'll keep being the best friend I can be, while also nurturing the love that I have for him in my heart. It's not an easy situation to be in, but it's one that I'm willing to navigate with patience, understanding, and an open heart. Because at the end of the day, he's worth it. Our friendship is worth it, and who knows what the future might hold. All I can do is take it one day at a time, one moment at a time, and trust that everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Whether that means being friends forever or something more, I'll be grateful for whatever comes our way. Because that's what love is all about, isn't it? Taking risks, being vulnerable, and putting your heart on the line. It's scary and uncertain, but it's also beautiful and rewarding in ways that you can't even imagine. So, here I am, falling for my best friend more and more every day, wondering what the future holds for us. It's a journey that I'm both nervous and excited to embark on, but one that I know will be worth it in the end. Because he's worth it. Our friendship is worth it. And the love that I have for him, whether it's reciprocated or not, is worth everything. I've been thinking a lot about the concept of love lately and what it really means. Is it just a feeling, a chemical reaction in our brains? Or is it something deeper, something that transcends the physical and touches the soul? I believe that love is a choice, a decision that we make every day to put someone else's needs and happiness above our own. It's a commitment to be there for them, through the good times and the bad, to support them and encourage them and help them grow. And that's what I want to do for him. I want to be his rock, his safe haven, his biggest cheerleader. I want to be the one he turns to when he's had a bad day, the one who can make him laugh and forget all his troubles. I want to be his partner in every sense of the word, not just romantically, but in life. I know that it won't be easy. Relationships are hard work, and they require a lot of patience, communication, and compromise. There will be times when we disagree, when we get on each other's nerves, when we wonder if it's all worth it. But I also know that the rewards are so much greater than the challenges. To have someone who knows you inside and out, who accepts you for all your flaws and imperfections, who loves you unconditionally and without judgment, that's a gift that not everyone gets to experience. And I want that with him. I want to build a life together, to create a future that's filled with love, laughter, and adventure. I want to grow old with him, to look back on our lives and know that we made the most of every moment, that we loved each other with everything we had. But I also know that I can't force him to feel the same way. I can't make him love me no matter how much I might want to. All I can do is be honest about my feelings and hope that he feels the same way. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. It will hurt, and it will be hard to move on. But I know that I'll be okay. I'll have the memories of our friendship, the love that we shared, even if it wasn't the kind of love that I wanted. I'll take that love with me wherever I go and use it to make me a better person. I'll learn from it, grow from it, and let it inspire me to keep searching for the kind of love that I know I deserve. Because I do deserve love. We all do. We all deserve to be with someone who makes us feel alive, who challenges us to be our best selves, who loves us for all that we are and all that we could be. And I believe that kind of love is out there for me, whether it's with him or someone else. I just have to be patient and trust that the universe has a plan for me, even if I can't see it yet. In the meantime, I'll keep being his friend, keep loving him in the way that I can. I'll be there for him when he needs me, and I'll cherish every moment that we have together. And who knows what the future might hold. Maybe one day, he'll wake up and realize that I'm the one he's been looking for all along. Maybe we'll find our way to each other and create the kind of love story that people write songs about. Or maybe we'll just stay friends, and that will be enough. Because having him in my life in any capacity is a blessing that I'll never take for granted. So, I'll keep hoping, keep dreaming, and keep loving him with all that I am. I'll be brave enough to take risks, to put myself out there, and to follow my heart wherever it may lead me. And I'll trust that everything happens for a reason, that every experience, every heartbreak, every moment of joy and sorrow is shaping me into the person I'm meant to be. Because that's what life is all about, isn't it? Learning, growing, and becoming the best version of ourselves. And I know that loving him, whether he loves me back or not, is a part of my journey, a part of my story. So, I'll embrace it with all the courage and strength that I can muster. I'll let it fill me up and guide me forward, and remind me of all the beauty and possibility that life has to offer. And I'll keep falling for him every day, in every way that I can, because he's worth it and so am I. We all are. We all deserve to love and be loved, to find happiness and purpose and meaning in this crazy, wonderful, messy thing called life. And I'm going to keep searching for it, keep fighting for it, keep believing in it no matter what, because that's what love does. It makes us brave, it makes us bold, it makes us believe in the impossible. And I'm ready for it, ready for whatever comes next, ready to love with all my heart and soul. So here's to love in all its forms. Here's to the love that we have for ourselves, for our friends, for our family, and for the special someone who makes our heart skip a beat. Here's to the love that changes us, that challenges us, that makes us better and stronger and more alive. Here's to the love that's worth everything, the love that we'll never forget, the love that makes life worth living. And here's to us, to the journey that we're all on, to the love that we'll find and create and cherish along the way. May we never stop searching for it, never stop believing in it, and never stop being grateful for it every single day of our lives. Because love is the answer, love is the key, love is the reason for it all. And I'm so glad that I get to experience it in all its beauty and complexity and wonder. Even if it's not always easy, even if it's not always perfect, even if it's not always the way I thought it would be, to still love and it's still worth it. Always. I'm a 28-year-old woman living in a cozy apartment in the heart of a bustling city. For the past 3 years, I've been in a relationship with a man who has captured my heart in ways I never thought possible. He's 29, and we met at a mutual friend's birthday party. From the moment we started talking, I knew there was something special about him. He's a talented musician, playing gigs at local bars and clubs whenever he gets the chance. His passion for his craft is one of the many things I admire about him. He's also incredibly kind and supportive, always there to lend a listening ear or offer a word of encouragement when I need it most. We've built a beautiful life together, filled with laughter, love, and endless inside jokes. We've traveled to new places, tried new foods, and made countless memories that I'll cherish forever. He's my best friend, my partner in crime, and the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. But there's one thing that's been weighing heavily on my mind lately. Whenever we talk about the future, specifically about getting married and starting a family, he gets scared. He tells me that he wants all the same things I do, that he wants to be my husband and the father of my children. But when the conversation gets real, when we start talking about timelines and plans, he starts to panic. He assures me that it's not because of me, that he loves me more than anything in the world. He says he just doubts himself and his ability to be a good husband. I know he struggles with insecurities and self-doubt, and it breaks my heart to see him so unsure of himself. From the outside looking in, he has everything going for him. He's hardworking, responsible, and financially stable. We have so much in common, from our values to our goals for the future. We've talked about everything from where we want to live to how we want to raise our kids. It seems like we're on the same page about everything that matters. But still, he hesitates. He overthinks every decision, big or small. He's terrified of making the wrong choice, of regretting his actions down the line. I try to reassure him, to tell him that no one has all the answers and that we'll figure it out together. But the fear still lingers, holding him back from taking that next step. This isn't a new issue in our relationship. It first came up about 2 years ago, when we started talking about getting engaged. He told me he wasn't ready, that he needed more time to figure things out. I was hurt, but I understood. I didn't want to pressure him into something he wasn't ready for. So I gave him time. I tried to be patient, to focus on the present and enjoy the love we had. But as the months went by, my own fears and insecurities started to creep in. I couldn't help but wonder if he would ever be ready, if he would ever want to commit to me in the way I wanted to commit to him. Now, 2 years later, we're still in the same place. He says he's been working on himself, that he's made progress in dealing with his anxiety and self-doubt. But he's still not ready to propose. He still gets overwhelmed when we talk about the future. I'm torn. I love him with all my heart, and I know he loves me too. We have such a strong foundation, such a deep connection. I can't imagine my life without him. But I also know what I want. I want to be a wife, to have a partner who is all in, who is ready to build a life with me. I've tried setting boundaries, telling him that I need a clear timeline for our future together. But every time I do, he gets even more anxious. He tells me he's afraid of losing me, of making a mistake that will ruin everything. And I get so caught up in my own fears of losing him that I back down, telling myself that I can wait a little longer. It's a cycle that feels impossible to break. We're both so in love, so committed to each other, but we're also both so afraid of what the future holds. I don't want to give up on him, on us, But I also don't want to spend my life waiting for something that may never happen. I've tried talking to friends and family about it, but everyone has a different opinion. Some tell me to be patient, that he'll come around when he's ready. Others tell me to move on, that I deserve someone who is ready to commit to me without hesitation. I don't know what to do. I've even considered proposing to him myself, taking the pressure off of him and showing him that I'm all in. But something holds me back. I don't want to force him into something he's not ready for. I don't want him to say yes out of fear of losing me, only to regret it later. So I'm stuck, caught between my love for him and my own desires for the future. I know we need to have a real conversation about it, to lay everything out on the table and figure out if we're truly on the same page. But I'm scared of what that conversation might reveal, of what it might mean for our relationship. I try to focus on the good things, on the love and laughter we share every day. I remind myself of all the reasons I fell in love with him in the first place, of all the ways he makes my life better just by being in it. I try to have faith that everything will work out the way it's supposed to, that we'll find our way together. But the doubts still linger, the fears still keep me up at night. I wonder if I'm being foolish, if I'm holding on to something that isn't meant to be. I wonder if I'm sacrificing my own happiness for the sake of a relationship that may never give me what I truly want. I know I need to be honest with myself and with him. I know we need to have some difficult conversations and make some tough decisions. But I also know that I love him, and that I'm willing to fight for our relationship, to work through whatever challenges come our way. Because at the end of the day, that's what love is. It's not always easy, and it's not always certain, but it's always worth it, worth the effort and the sacrifice and the risk. And I know that whatever happens, I'll never regret loving him, never regret the time we've had together. So I'll keep holding on, keep believing in us and in the love we share. I'll keep working on myself, on my own fears and insecurities. And I'll keep hoping that one day, he'll be ready to take that leap with me, to build the future we both dream of. Until then, I'll cherish every moment we have together, every laugh and every tear and every memory we make. I'll remind myself that love is a journey, not a destination, and that the path we're on is one we're walking together, hand in hand. And I'll trust that whatever is meant to be will be, that the love we have is strong enough to weather any storm. Because at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Love and hope and trust in the power of the connection we share. It's not always easy, and it's not always clear, but it's always worth it, always worth fighting for. And I know that as long as we have each other, as long as we keep choosing love over fear, we can face anything that comes our way. So I'll keep loving him, keep believing in us, and I'll keep holding on to the hope that one day, we'll look back on this time and see it as just another chapter in our love story, another obstacle we overcame together. Because that's what love is. It's a choice, a commitment, a promise to keep showing up, even when it's hard. And I choose him, choose us, every single day. It's not always going to be perfect. There will be days when we argue, when we get on each other's nerves, when we wonder if we're really meant to be together. But even on those days, I know that my love for him is stronger than any temporary frustration or disagreement. I think about all the things I love about him, all the ways he makes my life better just by being in it. I think about his smile, the way his eyes light up when he talks about something he's passionate about. I think about the way he holds me when I'm sad, the way he always knows just what to say to make me feel better. I think about the dreams we've shared, the plans we've made. I think about the life we could build together, the adventures we could have, the love we could create. And I know that whatever challenges we face, whatever obstacles we have to overcome, It will all be worth it in the end. Because he's worth it. Our love is worth it. The future we could have together is worth it. I know that relationships take work, that they require patience and understanding and a willingness to compromise. I know that there will be times when we both have to put in effort, when we both have to make sacrifices for the sake of our relationship. But I also know that when you love someone, really love them, you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. You're willing to have the hard conversations, to confront the things that scare you, to take risks and make changes and grow together. And that's what I want for us. I want us to grow together, to learn from each other, to support each other through all of life's ups and downs. I want us to build a love that lasts, a love that can withstand anything that comes our way. I know it won't be easy. I know there will be times when we both feel scared, when we both have doubts and insecurities and fears about the future. But I also know that we can face those things together, that we can lean on each other and trust in the strength of our love. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Not the timeline, not the expectations, not the pressure from the outside world. What matters is the love we have for each other, the commitment we've made to each other, the life we want to build together. And I'm willing to wait for that, to work for that, to fight for that. I'm willing to be patient, to give him the time and space he needs to figure things out. I'm willing to trust in the love we have, to believe that it's strong enough to overcome any obstacle. I know that he loves me, that he wants a future with me. I know that he's just scared, that he's working through his own fears and doubts and insecurities. And I want to be there for him, to support him and encourage him and remind him of all the reasons why we belong together. Because we do belong together. I feel it in my heart, in my soul, in every fiber of my being. I know that he's the one I want to spend my life with, the one I want to grow old with, the one I want to love forever. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. I'm willing to have patience, to have faith, to have hope. I'm willing to keep choosing him, keep choosing us, every single day. Because that's what love is. It's not a feeling, not a fleeting emotion that comes and goes with the wind. It's a choice, a decision, a commitment to keep showing up, keep loving, keep fighting for the person you can't imagine your life without. And I can't imagine my life without him. I don't want to imagine my life without him. I want to wake up every morning next to him, to fall asleep every night in his arms. I want to share my hopes and dreams and fears with him, to build a life and a family and a future with him. I want to love him wholly and completely, with everything I have and everything I am. I want to be his partner, his best friend, his soulmate. I want to be the one he turns to when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's scared, when he's excited. I want to be his rock, his shelter, his home. And I know that we can have that we can create that, as long as we keep choosing each other, keep choosing love. As long as we keep communicating, keep compromising, keep working together to build the life we both want. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Every struggle, every challenge, every moment of doubt or fear or uncertainty will be worth it in the end. Because we'll have each other, have the love we've built, have the life we've created together. And that's all I want, all I need, all I've ever dreamed of. To love and be loved, wholly and completely, by the person who makes my heart sing, my soul soar, my life feel complete. So I'll keep choosing him, keep choosing us, every single day. I'll keep loving him, keep fighting for him, keep believing in the power of our love. I'll keep showing up, keep being present, keep giving everything I have to this relationship, to this life we're building together. Because he's worth it. Our love is worth it. The future we dream of is worth it. And I won't give up, won't back down, won't let fear or doubt or insecurity stand in the way of the love we have, the love we deserve, the love we've fought so hard for. I choose him, choose us, today and every day. And I know that together, we can overcome anything, can build anything, can love each other through anything. That's the power of love, the power of commitment, the power of two hearts that beat as one, two souls that have found their home in each other. And I'm so grateful, so blessed, so incredibly lucky to have found that with him, to have the chance to love him and be loved by him every single day for the rest of our lives. I am a 32-year-old man living in a bustling city, surrounded by people, yet feeling utterly alone. I work as a software engineer, spending my days staring at a computer screen, trying to find solace in the lines of code that seem to be my only constant companions. But even in the world of technology, I feel disconnected, like a glitch in the system that no one knows how to fix. Growing up, my family life was far from perfect. My mother struggled with mental health issues, and my father, while a kind man, was always too busy with work to give me the attention I craved. I have two older sisters, but they might as well be strangers. We rarely speak, and when we do, it's like we're reading from a script, going through the motions of what a family is supposed to be. As for friends, I thought I had a solid group. We would hang out on weekends, grab drinks after work, and share stories about our lives. But as time went on, I started to notice a pattern. They would make plans without me, and I would only find out about it later through social media posts or offhand comments. At first, I tried to brush it off, telling myself that they were just busy or forgetful. But then I overheard them talking about me behind my back, making fun of my weight and my social awkwardness. It was like a punch to the gut, realizing that the people I considered my friends didn't actually like me. There's one guy in particular who seems to have it out for me. He's always trying to exclude me from plans or suggesting activities that he knows I won't be able to participate in. Once, he even told me straight to my face that he didn't want me around anymore. I tried to laugh it off, pretending like it didn't bother me, but inside, I was crushed. I do have one friend who I consider a true ally. He's always been there for me, ready to lend an ear or offer a word of encouragement. But even with him, I feel like I'm holding him back, like he's only hanging out with me out of pity, or because he feels obligated. I hate feeling like a burden, like I'm dragging everyone down with my problems. I've tried to find love, hoping that a romantic relationship would fill the void in my life. And for a while, it did. I was with a woman for 3 years, and during that time, I felt like I had a purpose, like I mattered to someone. But then, like everything else in my life, it fell apart. We grew apart, and eventually we broke up. Now I'm back to square one, alone and adrift. I can't help but wonder what's wrong with me. Why do I have such a hard time connecting with people? Is it my personality? My looks? My weight? I've always been on the heavier side, and I know that society can be cruel to people who don't fit the conventional standards of beauty. But I try not to let that define me. I try to focus on my strengths, on the things that make me unique and valuable. But it's hard to maintain that positive outlook when everywhere I turn, I'm met with rejection and indifference. It's like I'm invisible, like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, but no one can hear me. I watch as the people around me form close bonds and create meaningful relationships, and I'm left on the sidelines, always the outsider looking in. I've tried to put myself out there, to be more social and outgoing. I've joined clubs and attended events, hoping to meet new people and forge new connections. but it's like there's a wall between me and everyone else, a barrier that I can't seem to break through. I'll strike up a conversation with someone, and it will seem to be going well, but then they'll excuse themselves and walk away, leaving me standing there, alone and confused. It's not like I'm a bad person. I try to be kind and considerate, to listen when others are speaking and to offer help when I can. But it's like no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to make a lasting impression on anyone. I'm forgettable, disposable, a footnote in someone else's story. I know that I can't blame everyone else for my loneliness. I know that I have to take responsibility for my own happiness, for my own life. But it's hard to do that when you feel like you're constantly being rejected, constantly being told that you're not good enough. There are days when I just want to give up, to retreat into my own little world and shut out the rest of humanity. It would be easier, in a way, to just accept my fate as a lone wolf, to stop trying to force connections that just aren't there. But something inside me won't let me do that. Something inside me still holds out hope that someday, somehow, I'll find my place in this world. I try to focus on the little things, the small moments of joy and connection that remind me that life is still worth living. A kind word from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, a funny meme shared by a coworker. These things give me a glimmer of hope, a reason to keep going. But I also know that I need to make some changes in my life. I need to work on my self-esteem, on my confidence, on my ability to put myself out there and take risks. I need to stop waiting for others to come to me and start actively seeking out the connections and relationships that I crave. It's not going to be easy. I know that. There will be setbacks and disappointments, moments when I feel like giving up all over again. But I have to keep trying. I have to keep believing in myself, in my own worth and value. Because at the end of the day, I am the only one who can change my story. I am the only one who can decide to keep fighting, to keep reaching out, to keep believing in the possibility of love and connection. And so I will keep going. I will keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep taking those small steps towards a better life. I will surround myself with positivity and light, with people and things that bring me joy and inspiration. I will not let my loneliness define me. I will not let my struggles and setbacks defeat me. I will rise above the pain and the heartache, and I will find my way to a brighter future. Because I am worth it. I am deserving of love and happiness and fulfillment, and I will not stop until I find it. So to anyone out there who is feeling the same way I do, who is struggling to find their place in this world, I say this: keep going, keep fighting, keep believing in yourself and in the goodness of others. We are all in this together, even when it feels like we're utterly alone. And together we can create a world where no one has to feel invisible, where everyone has a chance to shine. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued. We all deserve to love and be loved in return. So let's keep reaching out, keep building those bridges, keep holding on to hope. Let's create a world where loneliness is a thing of the past and connection is the norm. It starts with small acts of kindness, with reaching out to someone who seems to be struggling, with offering a listening ear or a helping hand. It starts with being vulnerable, with sharing our own stories and experiences, with letting others see the real us, flaws and all. It starts with building communities, with finding people who share our passions and interests, with creating spaces where we can be ourselves and feel accepted and valued. Whether it's joining a club or a team, volunteering for a cause we care about, or simply reaching out to a neighbor or a coworker, there are so many ways to build connections and find a sense of belonging. And it starts with working on ourselves, with healing our own wounds and traumas, with learning to love and accept ourselves just as we are. Because when we can show up as our authentic selves, when we can be vulnerable and open and honest, we create the space for real, meaningful connections to form. I know it's not always easy. There will be times when we feel rejected or misunderstood, times when we want to retreat back into our shells and give up on the whole idea of connection. But we can't let those moments define us. We can't let the fear of getting hurt keep us from reaching out and taking risks. Because the truth is, we need each other. We need the support and the love and the validation that comes from being part of a community. We need to feel like we matter, like we have a place in this world. And we can create that for ourselves and for each other. We can be the change we want to see in the world. We can be the ones who reach out, who build bridges, who create a culture of connection and compassion. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time and effort and a whole lot of courage. But it's possible. It's within our reach. So let's keep going. Let's keep showing up for ourselves and for each other. Let's keep believing in the power of connection, in the strength that comes from being part of something bigger than ourselves. Let's be the ones who break down the walls of loneliness and isolation, who create a world where everyone feels seen and heard and valued. Let's be the ones who lead with love and empathy, who create safe spaces for vulnerability and authenticity. And let's do it together, because we are stronger when we stand united, when we lift each other up and support each other through the tough times. We are more resilient when we have a network of people who care about us, who believe in us, who have our backs. So reach out to someone today. Send a text, make a call, invite someone to coffee. Take a chance on a new friendship or a new opportunity. Put yourself out there even if it feels scary. And know that you are not alone. Know that there are people out there who understand what you're going through, who have felt the same pain and the same longing. Know that you have the power to create the life and the relationships you want, to build a world where loneliness is a thing of the past. It's not going to be easy. There will be setbacks and challenges and moments of doubt. But we can't let that stop us. We can't let the fear of failure keep us from trying, from reaching for the stars. Because we deserve to be happy. We deserve to be loved. We deserve to feel like we belong. And we can make that happen. We can create a world where everyone has a place, where everyone has a chance to thrive and to shine. So let's do it. Let's be the change we want to see. Let's be the ones who lead with love and compassion, who create a culture of connection and care. Let's be the ones who never give up on ourselves or on each other, who keep fighting for a better world. A world where loneliness is a distant memory and connection is the norm. It's possible. It's within our reach. And it starts with us. So let's keep reaching out. Keep building those bridges. Keep holding on to hope. Let's create a world where every single person feels valued and loved and connected. Because that's the world we all deserve to live in. And together we can make it happen. One step at a time, one person at a time, one act of kindness at a time. We can create a ripple effect of love and connection that spreads far and wide, touching lives and transforming communities. We can be the ones who make a difference, who leave a legacy of love and compassion. We can be the ones who change the world, one heart at a time. So let's start today. Let's start right now. Let's take that first step towards a brighter future. A future where no one has to feel alone or invisible or forgotten. Let's be the ones who lead with love, who create a world where everyone belongs. Let's be the ones who never give up on the power of connection, the power of community, the power of hope. Together we can do this. Together, we can create a world where loneliness is a thing of the past, and love and connection reign supreme. So let's get started. Let's be the change we want to see. Let's create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. It's time. It's our time. Let's make it happen. I am a 24-year-old college student, and I have been dating my girlfriend, who is also 24, for the past 2 years. We met in our biology class and instantly hit it off. She is the most amazing person I have ever met, and I feel so lucky to have her in my life. However, despite the love and happiness we share, I find myself constantly plagued by the fear that she will leave me or cheat on me. It all started about 6 months into our relationship. I made a mistake, a small one, but it upset her. I apologized and we worked through it, but from that moment on, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was walking on eggshells. Every time I did something wrong, no matter how minor, I would panic. I would imagine her packing her bags, walking out the door, and never looking back. As time went on, my fears only grew. I started to feel like every mistake I made was being added to some invisible scoreboard, and that one day the score would be too high and she would leave me. I couldn't help but think that she was keeping track of every time I hurt her, every time I let her down, and that eventually it would all become too much for her to bear. I tried my best to be the perfect boyfriend. I would go out of my way to do things for her, to surprise her with gifts and gestures of affection. I would stay up late to help her study for exams, even when I had my own work to do. I would cancel plans with friends to spend time with her, just to show her how much she meant to me. But no matter what I did, the fear never went away. It got to the point where every text message, every phone call, every moment of silence felt like a sign that something was wrong. I would analyze every word she said, every facial expression, every tone of voice, looking for any hint that she was unhappy with me. I would lie awake at night, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios, imagining her in the arms of another man, laughing at how foolish I was to think she could ever love someone like me. I knew that my fears were irrational. I knew that she loved me, that she had chosen to be with me, that we had a strong and healthy relationship. But no matter how many times I tried to reassure myself, the doubts and insecurities always crept back in. I started to feel like I was going crazy. I would pick fights with her over the smallest things, just to see how she would react. I would accuse her of things she hadn't done, just to see if she would defend herself. I would push her away, just to see if she would come back. It was a vicious cycle, and I knew that if I didn't find a way to break it, I would lose her for good. One day, after a particularly bad fight, I decided to seek help. I talked to a counselor at my college's student health center, and for the first time, I opened up about my fears and insecurities. The counselor listened patiently, and then she said something that changed everything. She told me that my fears were not about my girlfriend at all. They were about me. They were about my own self-doubt, my own feelings of inadequacy, my own fear of not being good enough. She helped me see that by constantly worrying about losing my girlfriend, I was actually pushing her away. I was creating a self-fulfilling prophecy, where my own insecurities were sabotaging the very relationship I was so desperate to hold on to. It was a hard truth to face, but it was also a liberating one. I realized that if I wanted to save my relationship, I needed to start by working on myself. I needed to learn to trust myself, to believe in my own worth, to know that I was deserving of love and happiness. I started by making small changes. I stopped trying to be the perfect boyfriend and instead focused on being the best version of myself. I started doing things that made me happy, like playing guitar and writing poetry. I started spending more time with friends, building a support system outside of my relationship. I started practicing self-care, taking time to exercise, meditate, and do things that brought me joy. Slowly but surely, I started to feel better. I started to feel more confident, more secure in myself and in my relationship. I stopped analyzing every little thing my girlfriend said or did, and instead started enjoying the moments we shared together. I stopped trying to control the future and instead started living in the present. It wasn't always easy. There were still moments of doubt and fear, still times when I would fall back into old patterns of thinking. But now I had the tools to recognize those thoughts for what they were. Just thoughts, not reality. I had the strength to challenge them, to reframe them, to let them go. And as I worked on myself, something amazing happened. My relationship with my girlfriend started to improve. We started communicating more openly and honestly, sharing our fears and insecurities with each other. We started supporting each other's goals and dreams, encouraging each other to be the best versions of ourselves. We started building a foundation of trust and respect, one that could weather any storm. Looking back, I realized that my fear of losing my girlfriend was actually a fear of losing myself. I had been so focused on being the perfect partner, on doing everything right, that I had lost sight of who I was and what I needed. I had been so afraid of being rejected, of being alone, that I had been willing to sacrifice my own happiness and well-being. But now, I know that true love is not about being perfect. It's about being honest, being vulnerable, being willing to grow and change together. It's about supporting each other through the ups and downs, the mistakes and the triumphs. It's about building a life together one day at a time. And so, to anyone who may be struggling with similar fears and doubts, I want to say this: you are not alone. You are not broken or unworthy of love. You are a beautiful, complex, imperfect human being, just like everyone else. And the key to a happy, healthy relationship is not to be perfect, but to be yourself. Trust in yourself, in your own strength and resilience. Believe in your own worth, in your own ability to love and be loved. And know that no matter what happens, you will always have the power to create a life that is rich, fulfilling, and full of joy. It's a journey, and it's not always an easy one. But it's a journey worth taking, because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And when you can love and accept yourself, flaws and all, that's when you can truly love and accept others. So keep going, keep growing, keep learning. And know that with every step you take, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. A person who is strong, resilient, and capable of giving and receiving love in all its forms. As you continue on this path of personal growth and self-discovery, remember to celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Every time you choose to face your fears instead of running from them, every time you choose to respond with kindness instead of anger, every time you choose to believe in yourself instead of doubting your own worth, you are making progress. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And as you become stronger, you will find that your relationships become stronger too. When you can love and accept yourself, flaws and all, you create a space for others to do the same. You attract people who value honesty, vulnerability, and growth. People who will support and encourage you on your journey. But it's not just about romantic relationships. This journey of self-love and personal growth will impact every area of your life. You will find that you have more energy and enthusiasm for your passions and hobbies, that you are more creative and innovative in your work, that you are more present and engaged in your friendships and family relationships. Because when you are living from a place of love and authenticity, when you are no longer held back by fear and self-doubt, you free up so much mental and emotional space. You have more capacity for joy, for connection, for exploration and adventure. And that's what life is all about, isn't it? Not just surviving, but thriving. Not just going through the motions, but living each day with purpose and intention. Not just reacting to what life throws your way, but proactively creating the life you want to live. And the beautiful thing is, you have the power to do just that. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs. You have the power to create a life that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. But it starts with you. It starts with believing in yourself, in your own inherent worth and value. It starts with treating yourself with the same love and compassion that you would offer to a dear friend. It starts with taking responsibility for your own happiness and well-being, instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. And it continues with small, daily actions. With the choices you make about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, and what you focus your energy on. With the habits you cultivate, the boundaries you set, and the risks you take. It's not always easy, and it's not always comfortable. Growth rarely is, but it's always worth it. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a life that is richer, fuller, and more authentic than you ever thought possible. So keep going, my friend. Keep showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. Keep believing in your own potential, even when others doubt you. Keep choosing love over fear, courage over comfort, and growth over stagnation. And know that with every step you take, you are not only becoming the person you were meant to be, but you are also inspiring others to do the same. You are creating a ripple effect of love and positive change in the world around you, simply by being true to yourself. That is the power of this journey. That is the power of love. And that is the power that lies within you, waiting to be unleashed. So take a deep breath, square your shoulders, and keep moving forward. The world needs your unique gifts, your authentic voice, and your loving presence. And you need the joy, the connection, and the fulfillment that comes from living a life that is true to who you are. It's time to step into your power, to claim your birthright as a being of love and light. It's time to let go of the fears and doubts that have held you back, and to embrace the limitless potential that lies within you. You are ready, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved just as you are. So go out there and live your best life, my friend. The world is waiting for you. I never thought I would find myself in this situation. At 27 years old, I had been with my girlfriend for 3 years. We met at work, both of us working as teachers at a local elementary school. Everything seemed perfect. We had a great connection, shared the same values, and had so many dreams for our future together. But then, everything changed. I found out that she had been unfaithful, not just once, but multiple times. The first time, I discovered that she had been using a dating app to talk to other men. She had even gone on a few dates with some of them. When I confronted her, she broke down in tears, apologizing over and over again. She promised it would never happen again. And like a fool, I believed her. A few months went by, and things seemed to be getting better. We were spending more time together, going on dates, and making plans for the future. But then, I stumbled upon the truth once again. She had re-downloaded the dating app and was back to her old ways, chatting with multiple guys. I felt like my world was crashing down around me. How could she do this to me again? After all the promises and apologies, how could she betray my trust like this? I knew I couldn't go through this pain again. So, with a heavy heart, I ended our relationship. It's been a week since the breakup, and I'm struggling. Every waking moment, my mind is filled with thoughts of her. I can't help but imagine the worst-case scenarios. Is she already with someone else? Has she moved on so quickly while I'm here, still reeling from the pain? These thoughts consume me, and it's taking a toll on my mental health. I feel drained, both emotionally and physically. I know I need to find a way to move on, but it feels impossible. Everywhere I look, I see reminders of her. The coffee shop where we had our first date, the park where we used to take walks together, even the school where we both work. It's like I can't escape the memories. I've tried to distract myself. I've thrown myself into my work, staying late at school to grade papers and plan lessons. I've started going to the gym more often, hoping that the physical exertion will help clear my mind. But no matter what I do, she's always there, lurking in the back of my thoughts. I know that I need to find a way to let go. I can't keep torturing myself with these imagined scenarios. I need to accept that our relationship is over and that she has chosen to move on. But it's easier said than done. I've started reaching out to friends and family for support. Talking about my feelings has helped a little. They remind me that I deserve better than someone who would cheat and lie. They encourage me to focus on myself and my own happiness. And deep down, I know they're right. I've also started journaling, writing down my thoughts and emotions. It's been a way for me to process everything that's happened and to work through my pain. Some days, the pages are filled with anger and hurt. Other days, there are glimmers of hope and healing. I know that moving on will take time. I can't expect to heal overnight, but I'm determined to keep pushing forward, one day at a time. I'm trying to focus on the things that bring me joy, like my students and my hobbies. I'm surrounding myself with positive people who lift me up and support me. And slowly but surely, I'm starting to see progress. The pain is still there, but it's not as all-consuming as it once was. I'm starting to have moments where I don't think about her at all. I'm starting to imagine a future without her, and it doesn't seem quite so bleak anymore. I know that I will never forget the hurt and betrayal that I experienced. But I also know that I am stronger than this. I will not let her actions define me or my future. I will keep moving forward, keep healing, and keep believing in myself. To anyone else going through a similar situation, I want you to know that you're not alone. The pain of infidelity is a heavy burden to bear, but it's not one that you have to carry forever. Reach out to those who love you, seek support and guidance, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. You are worthy of love and respect. You deserve to be with someone who values your trust and your heart. Don't settle for anything less. It may take time, but you will heal. You will find happiness again. And when you do, you'll look back on this moment and realize just how far you've come. In the meantime, be patient with yourself. Healing is not a linear process. There will be good days and bad days. There will be moments when you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's okay. It's all part of the journey. Surround yourself with things that bring you comfort and joy. Maybe it's a favorite hobby or a beloved pet. Maybe it's a cozy blanket or a warm cup of tea. Find those small moments of peace and hold on to them. And don't be afraid to lean on others for support. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or a therapist, having someone to talk to can make all the difference. You don't have to go through this alone. I found that focusing on gratitude has helped me immensely. Even on the darkest days, there is always something to be thankful for. Maybe it's a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a good book. Taking time each day to acknowledge the good in your life can help shift your perspective and bring a sense of hope. Another thing that has helped me is setting small goals for myself. Whether it's trying a new recipe, going for a walk in nature, or learning a new skill, having something to work towards can give you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. It's a reminder that even in the midst of pain, you are still capable of growth and progress. And above all else, remember to be kind to yourself. You are going through a difficult and painful experience. It's okay to have moments of sadness, anger, and confusion. It's okay to not have all the answers. Give yourself permission to feel your emotions and to take things one day at a time. As I continue on this journey of healing, I'm learning to focus on the present moment. I can't change the past and I can't control the future, but I can choose how I show up for myself today. I can choose to prioritize my own well-being and happiness. I know that there will still be challenges ahead. There will still be moments when the pain feels overwhelming. But I also know that I have the strength and resilience to keep moving forward. I have the power to create a new story for myself, one that is filled with love, joy, and purpose. And to anyone else who may be reading this, I want to remind you that you have that same power within you. Your story is not over. Your pain does not define you. You have the ability to heal, to grow, and to create a life that you love. It may not happen overnight. It may take time, patience, and a whole lot of self-compassion. But I promise you it is possible. You are stronger than you know. You are capable of overcoming even the darkest of days. So keep going. Keep believing in yourself. Keep reaching for the light, even when it feels out of reach. You are not alone in this journey. There are people who care about you, who believe in you, and who are rooting for your happiness. And one day, when you look back on this chapter of your life, you'll see it as a testament to your strength and resilience. You'll see how far you've come, how much you've grown, and how much beauty and joy still lies ahead. So take a deep breath, my friend. Take a step forward, even if it's a small one. And know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are capable of creating a beautiful life, no matter what challenges come your way.